Hallo, hallo, hallo. Welkom bij deze nieuwe podcast van de Dutch Speaking Academy. Ik ben Mariska en dit is...
And hi, I'm Brooklyn, the founder of the Labor Department.
Hi Brooklyn, welkom. Welkom in deze podcast. Welcome to our podcast. We're going to be speaking in English and maybe a little bit of Dutch, right?
Zeker, thank you.
Zeker. Toppie. Toppie, toppie. Hey, thanks so much for being here. We met only a couple of weeks ago through Instagram, actually.
Yep.
We got in touch. You sent me a message. Hey, let's connect. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's have some coffee. So we had some coffee and now we're connected and now we're doing this podcast because I wanted to ask you a little bit about how you got to the Netherlands, how you built your life here, and of course, how you built the Labor Department.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
I really appreciate it. I'm super
Well,
excited to be here. I think there's so many parents out there like me living, working, breathing Dutch society and trying to find their way through it all with like a little bit of Dutch, a lot of English, wanting more Dutch, feeling really overwhelmed by it. And your
mhm.
content just like really speaks to me. I love your mission. I think your approach is so spot on. Like I saw today that you posted some tips for a play date, and that's like exactly what I need.
Yes.
So I'm super happy to be here. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you so much. And the Labor Department, can you tell a little bit about what you do with the Labor
Yeah, for
Department?
sure. So the Labor Department is all about providing community and education from pregnancy to early parenthood. The idea is that it's a really overwhelming experience. We spend so much of our pregnancy worried about birth, and then we're like handed this baby and
Yeah.
just completely overwhelmed by it all. So, what we try to do is really prepare parents in pregnancy for everything that's to come, not just birth, but breastfeeding and postpartum and how to care for your baby's medical needs, how to care for your mental health.
Yes.
Um, and we really try to build community for you to support you along the way. We have a program called Prep to Parent that's designed for pregnant couples. The whole idea is that you come, get all the knowledge you need, and make some pals along the way.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I personally also missed that when I became a parent
Yeah.
7.5 years ago, when there's so much information about being pregnant and how to birth, and then in just the weeks after it, I was just like, what is this? The
Yeah,
breastfeeding and the pain
totally.
and not sleeping and this
Yeah,
immense responsibility for a human being.
for sure, your body's also going through a massive shift in that moment. So,
Yeah.
like, add to that this huge physiological change, and then you're also meant to like absorb all this information and learn a bunch of stuff. And it's just like, whoa, this could have been done in a completely different sequence. So,
Yeah.
we're really trying to shift that and, make it so that parents feel and see the need to really educate themselves on as much as they can before so that those moments of transition aren't so hard and that they
Yeah.
know how to support each other through it.
Yeah, it's really nice that you're
Yeah.
doing this. Is this did you became a parent in the Netherlands, right?
Yeah. So I moved over to Amsterdam for love. I met my husband, now husband, in Toronto, and he's a Dutchie. So my man is Netherlands.
Yeah.
And we moved to Amsterdam pretty quickly after meeting, actually, and, got married. And then soon we became pregnant, or I became pregnant. And during my pregnancy, I just thought, like, wait, 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 wait. This is not what this was supposed to look like. Like, I'm supposed to have like this perfect round belly and be glowing and feel perfect and
Yeah.
feel energetic and happy and where's my all my friends? Like I just everything that I thought was supposed to happen wasn't happening for me. And postpartum, that was even more true because I just thought like, oh, you have the baby and it goes on your boob and then like you breastfeed and it's
Yeah.
totally
And
easy.
that's it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can
And
do
I
it
had no clue.
anywhere. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I did like an 8-hour hypnobirthing program when I was pregnant, and that was it. Like I just thought, like, oh, well, that's all you should prepare for is
Yeah.
birth. I
Yeah.
didn't really realize that there were actually more ways to be prepared and feel confident going into it. And Yeah, even today I was thinking like, oh my God, postpartum, like I had no idea about food. Like I didn't know what to eat. Yeah, I could have gotten ahead of that so much better by
Yeah.
stocking my fridge or asking people to
Yeah.
make certain things. It's just, it doesn't mean that you have to do a million things. You don't have to like, cook and make a freezer full of food. You don't have to take 100 breastfeeding courses.
You have to
There's
instruct your husband to bring you
You have to
coffee.
instruct your husband to bring you coffee. You don't have to buy a billion gadgets. It's just really knowing your options. Like, how do you choose from the menu when you don't even know what's on the menu?
Yeah.
Here, we're sort of given. I had this conversation with somebody the other day, and it really has resonated with me so strongly. Like, you think you have two choices, but really you have five.
Yeah.
But we don't talk about all those. You think like, oh, when you're pregnant, you do pregnancy yoga and you do a birth class. And that's great. And you should totally do those things. But also, there's a huge opportunity for you to learn about tons of other things that will set you up for success later on. And that's
Yeah.
really what we're trying to do.
Yeah. So when did you start prepped to parent?
Yeah, so Prep to Parent is just 2 years old. We've had
Wow.
about, yeah, close to 300 couples now go through the program. We run a weekend intensive every month, as well as a 4 week or 5 week every month. And those groups are pretty small, like they're just for 8 couples each. Our couples are coming from all over the Netherlands, which is really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's a lot of expats, but it's also some expats who are partnered with Dutchies like me. Um, and what's also really unique about the program is that it's not just one teacher. We have a group of teachers or instructors who have clinical experience in everything they're talking about. So
Nice.
if they're teaching breastfeeding, they have, worked in hospitals and worked with moms. If they're talking about mental health, they are a mental health practitioner.
Yeah.
um, so not only do you get all this information and do you meet really great couples, but you also get a chance to connect with professionals who you might need support from later on.
Yeah. Nice. Wow, you're doing such a good job there. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's really, I think the same goes for language, like who you meet as a support person or an educator really sort of is kind of like your welcome mat to the whole experience.
Yeah. What
You
has
want
that been for you? Because your Dutch is
to
nice. Getting there. You're pretty good if you get the
uh,
time. Sorry. Sorry for my pause there.
What has it been? Well, I've tried a bunch of different things actually. Like I've done a lot of different classes and I found that it's been challenging for me. I think it's
Mm,
getting better the more Dutch play dates I'm hosting, it gets better.
yeah.
But I think that the contextual piece was really missing for me. Like I didn't find the content very relatable. That's why I really love what you're doing because,
Mm,
yeah, like I need words for the school playground and for a play date. Like I
yeah.
need words
So
for my
specific. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
And like, just like everything else, if you see yourself in what you're doing, you kind of gravitate towards it more. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm super excited about the program.
Yeah. Do you how did you start learning Dutch?
I
Do you
started,
remember?
yeah,
What did you go to a course or did you pick
yeah,
it up
I
by
did a
yourself?
course. I did a group course in Amsterdam when I first got here, and it was like, actually, that's a lie. I did a course when I lived in Toronto.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool. After
and
meeting
yeah,
the
after meeting
guy?
the Dutch guy,
Okay.
I did a course in Toronto and it was like so bad and I couldn't understand anything and I didn't, yeah, I'm not really good at homework. Like it was just very triggering from my school days.
Ah,
Like
yeah.
I just felt completely over, and then you miss a week and you're behind and it wasn't a good thing for me. And then I sort of did a repeat of that when I got here. And again, it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
I think what's really worked for me is like watching Dutch TV, trying to engage in public, like trying to speak to people in Dutch wherever I can.
Yeah, because
But
you
yeah,
also have in-laws, of course,
I
Dutch
also have
in-laws.
in-laws.
Do you speak with them?
Yeah, but actually, like one thing that you say a lot that really resonates with me is I like understand everything,
Hmm.
mostly everything. I think
Yeah.
some emotional things are a little bit tricky. Like I find it really hard to watch political conversations in Dutch, which is a bummer because I would really love to be watching the
Mm,
news, especially now. But
yeah,
mostly I can follow like my family conversation, but there's like this like yeah, I can't get over this hurdle around speaking.
yeah. It's such a different skill. It's such a
It's
different
a
thing. You
completely
really
different
have to,
skill.
yeah, yeah. You
Yeah,
have to deal with all the voices in your head and the physical response to you
totally,
trying to speak another language.
totally.
Yeah, yeah.
And I did my
Hard work.
inburgering. Like I've passed everything,
Yeah,
but so in like a sort of that setting, it's fine. But yeah, engaging in like free flowing discussion is a completely different beast.
yeah, yeah. But we're getting there.
We're getting
Yeah,
there,
it's
and
really
actually, like I
step by
find,
step, right?
yeah, I find the best people to practice with is like my son's friends, like 5 year olds.
Yeah, because your son is
Just
5 year old going to a Dutch primary school.
going to a Dutch primary school, and also like what I've noticed, and maybe this is a topic for another time, is I think he thinks that English is really weird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's like a bit embarrassing that I speak English.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
I think he like thinks Dutch is like the cool do normal thing. And then mummy's like this like unique weirdo. So yeah, I think like that's just started and I'm
Yeah.
trying to navigate that. I don't
Yeah.
think he gets that like most of the world actually speaks English.
Yeah. No, of course not, because his world is now school, of course, and
Totally.
everything is in
Totally.
Dutch. Yeah. Yeah.
But so yesterday we actually had a play date with another kid whose dad is English speaking, and Max refused to speak English to her. Like she was speaking English to him and he was responding in Dutch.
Okay. Hmm. That's
That's for a
interesting.
psychologist, not for you.
Yeah. I'll dive into that. No, but it might be
Yeah.
that like they what I see a lot is that in relationships that the language that you start the relationship in is really difficult to change later on. It
Pivot.
takes a lot
Yeah.
of effort.
Yep.
And of course
Yep.
he has met her in Dutch, probably
Yep.
in school in Dutch. So his view towards her is in Dutch, is the
Yeah.
language that he's used to. So maybe that's
It's
just weird
wild.
for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
Hey, but
interesting.
maybe we can go back. Can I ask you a question actually? One
Say
question I get a lot from parents, soon to be parents, is and maybe this is a big question, but how do you navigate like pregnancy in a Dutch society when you are English speaking? Do you have any tips for pregnant people exploring that? Like going to doctor's appointments and
mm,
yeah. Like is it about learning certain words? Is it about being vocal with your needs? Like what do you suggest if you're, like me, sort of like I'm have a little bit of Dutch, have mostly English, but want to feel comfortable and confident in a Dutch medical setting?
yeah, that's a nice question. Thanks. Um, of course, that also needs. Then we need practice. Then we need the words, the right words, to be able to say what you need to say and to be able to express yourself. But I would always also suggest to see if you can, if the doctor or the medical, what's the word, medical person you're talking to
Yeah,
is able to understand you in English, if you
yeah,
can speak English, of course, because you want to be sure that you understand everything and you know everything that's being said. But yeah, we want to prepare ourselves for those situations. So learn the words for verloskundige, for the bevalling, and for the keizersnede, and all the words that you need to be able
have
to
pain.
understand what's being said. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's interesting because what I hear in this is like throughout the language journey, you need moments where you can say, speak English with me. Can we speak English? But you also need moments where you can say, can we speak Dutch?
yeah,
And it's really about having the confidence to ask for that. Like,
yes,
the woman in line at the bakery the other day was speaking to me in English, and I said, can you speak Dutch to me?
yeah,
Because this is my moment to practice.
yes,
But when the doctor's office calls and I want to understand what they're saying, I need the confidence to say, "Do you mind if we speak in English?"
Yeah, you want to be able to make the choice. You want
Yeah,
to have the power to make the switch and
yeah,
to confidently ask, like, okay, now it's too much. I'm overwhelmed. I cannot find the words. Can we please do it in Engels?
yeah,
And when you feel like I'm rested, I'm motivated, I want to do this, because we all go like this, right?
yeah,
It's not like
yeah,
this. It's never
yeah,
like this. So when you feel confident and you're like, I'm at the bakery and I want to do this. Let's go for
yeah.
Nederlands. Yeah. And it's all about the confidence and feeling centered and feeling in power or powerful enough to be able to decide which
What
language
moment?
you're going to be
Yeah.
using. Yeah.
And that's why I love like this whole idea of layering learning language with parenthood because both are rooted in that.
Yeah.
Like in both of those journeys, you need the confidence to really stand in what you need in that moment, what's right for you, what's right
Yeah.
for your family. It's such a good tie-in, and it
Yeah.
like I really think what you're doing is so cool.
Yeah. This is a beautiful match. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Love that. Oh yeah. Yeah. What I was So the other day, one of my former students sent me a message only a couple of weeks ago that she had to call the emergency line in the weekend for her baby because he
Mm.
wasn't breathing well, and the doctor on the other side of the line refused to speak English or couldn't speak English. Don't know. We don't know. But so
Oh, wow.
she had to say it in Dutch at 1 p.m. Saturday morning,
Oh,
and
poor
she was
thing.
yeah, it was she sent me this message and she was so thankful that she was able to do it, to find that switch, like, okay, come on, I got this. I can do this, giving herself time to do it and to make sure that she was able to say what she needed to say. So it's really about that confidence and not being
Yeah. Actually, that brings up another point, which is that I think a lot of people are trying to learn Dutch like in the moment. And it's interesting to think about learning Dutch for the future. Like I really feel that obviously my Dutch has grown as my child's language has grown.
yeah,
But this woman that you're speaking about, she has enough to get through a phone call about her baby now. Like I can only imagine where she'll be by the time her kid is having play dates.
yeah, definitely.
And I think it's like really important to think about the future settings by which they like where you really want to be able to communicate confidently in Dutch, not when you're in them, but in advance. Like I
Beforehand.
really wish I'd known how like meaningful it is to me to be able to communicate with my son's friends when they're in my house.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember being at a friend's house and her daughter had a bunch of friends over and one of the little girls was crying and she didn't speak English and my friend couldn't communicate with her and it's so hard in those moments and trying to get in front of it as early as possible. So tell me this then, like speaking of getting in front of it, say you're pregnant, you're about to have a baby in the Netherlands, you've got all your pregnancy hormones going on, you're learning about breastfeeding and birth and what's sort of a gentle way to also add a little bit of Dutch into that mix?
I would I would stay away from overwhelm, of course, as much as you can. But if you want to
Yeah.
integrate some Dutch
Yeah.
already, this is a beautiful question. Like learn the words for breastfeeding, borstvoeden, of
Yeah.
milk, of I don't know, some other words like
Liars,
dutje,
diapers.
luiers verschonen, cleaning the
Yeah.
diapers, boertje, een boertje doen, like he has to burp.
Yeah. I
Um,
would say like maybe a good one is in our baby medical basics class, we have a list of everything you need in your first aid kit. It would be good to
yeah,
then like look at that list in Dutch and try
yeah,
to learn those words.
yeah.
I love that. Just thinking about like really practical words that you can
Really
start adding
practical
to your.
words, and just a couple per week, maybe,
Yeah.
especially when you
Yeah.
just had a baby, or maybe you're on fire and you're like, yeah, my brain is everywhere, but most of us are not after birth
Yeah.
or during birth. So just a couple of sentences or words, every week will make a huge difference. Also, when your child goes to daycare or the force hall when he's 2 or 3 years old, so that you're prepared already and that your brain is set up for more
Yeah.
Dutch. Yeah, and it's
I,
beautiful also how you say like now your child is 5 and your Dutch is getting better and better. And also, I want to say to everyone who's like, "Oh, I think I'm too late." Like, if you start now, your child will be still going to school for another 10 or 12 years, or maybe when it's in groep 6, also
oh
still
wow,
so
yeah.
many years. So don't think you're too late. It's
No, you're
still
never too late.
yeah,
It's never too late to learn.
yeah.
I love that. I also think like, and tell me what you think about this. What do you think about learning, like watching TV as a way to learn a language? Is that something that is real?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
It's how I learned. It's how whoa. Definitely, it's how I learned English also because we don't
Cool.
have the synchronization. Do you call it
Yeah.
that? Yeah,
Subtitles or
yeah. We have
voiceover.
the
Yeah.
voiceover. Yeah, we don't have that.
Yeah.
We have the subtitles. So I started watching English TV when I was 6 or 7, maybe already.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a brilliant way, and especially if you have a young child and you want to watch like Peppa Pig or Paw Patrol, things like that.
Yeah.
That will really help you pick up words and phrases.
Yeah. What I was going to say also is if you're pregnant, there's this like reality show about giving birth.
Oh,
I forget what it's called, but I actually was watching it when I was giving birth. And that is a really good way to learn all of the birth terms.
cool.
Yeah,
I
I
think I
forget
know
what
what
it's
you
called.
mean.
I'll
Yeah,
try to remember.
yeah,
I think it's on TLC. Anyways, it's like watching those kinds of reality things
yeah,
are a good way to learn real language that you need, even though it like poisons your brain with reality TV, but still.
yeah. But it's it's educational.
Yeah. The last thing I want is to tell pregnant people to watch Peppa Pig. So
Yeah,
it's
no,
nice
don't
to learn
start there. Don't
it.
start.
Don't start
Wait,
there.
wait until you get
You've
there.
got, yeah, actually, but on the Peppa Pig note, Peppa's mom recently announced that she's pregnant. So I think there is more Peppa Pig pregnancy terminology coming in.
Oh, that's exciting
Yeah, very
for
excited. She's
Peppa.
having
Yeah.
her third.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a big
The
deal.
one TV show that I really enjoy watching with my kids is Bluey, by the way.
Yeah,
Bluey the dog.
Bluey's great.
I think it's on Disney. And
Yeah.
that's also, yeah, it's really nice.
And like the emotional language is really good in there too.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Let's round it up.
Yeah,
Well, thank you
totally.
so much for this 20-minute podcast. Really enjoyed this.
Yeah, it
Hey,
was
where
really
can
great
people find
speaking.
you if they want to learn more about Prep to Parents?
Sure. They can visit us at www.thelabordept, that's LABOURDEPT.com, and also the same on Instagram.
Yeah.
We've got some really great content on there, especially if you're wanting to educate yourself more about becoming a parent in the Netherlands. Also on our website, our blog has some really great guest posts. And in addition to Prep to Parent, our members meet every Monday for a Mama Hang in Amsterdam, and we have tons of other community events coming up, which you can join anytime if you're pregnant, if you're trying to get pregnant, if you have a young baby, if you have an older baby. We're just really trying to, create a supportive community for parents
Yeah.
here in
Yeah.
Amsterdam.
Yeah, so nice. Hey, and we'll see you because I'm starting the Dutch for Parents program next week, and
Amazing.
we'll be seeing each other there for when I'm hosting the live play date on the
Yeah.
22nd of March. You'll also
Yeah.
be at the same location, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd love
Yeah.
to see you there. We can
Amazing.
yeah meet again. All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you for being here. Speak soon. Bye bye.
Bye.